या देवी सर्वभूतेषु शक्तिरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मातृरूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु मीरारूपेण संस्थिता नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। પૂજ્ય માં ભગવતી, પૂજ્ય Sri Arvind, you all are the chosen children of our Divine Mother. The dialogue with death, that is the very remarkable portion of Savitri, and that is to be experimented. What research is needed is the research of the reality of death. A master, unconquerable, terrible, compulsory, inevitable, extremely fearful, plightful, and miserable experience. In innumerable millenniums in our country, the scriptures proclaimed abundantly from all different angles, from all different perspectives, and from all different views, the terrible impact of death on humanity. So many anecdotes, so many stories, so many katha are one way or the another related to death and related to the conquest of death too. But in every story as such, the sequence is different, cause is different, experience is different, method is different, and solution is also different. Nachiketa, Satyavan Savitri of Mahabharata, Orpheus and Eurydice of Greece, and so many different in Latin literature, in Farsi literature, in Chinese literature, and in Zen literature of Japan. Nowhere the solution that was made so universal up till now. And in Savitri, Sri Aurobindo offered his own individual experience to this effect. With a scientific perspective, with realistic perspective, taking Einstein into account for the first time ever in the history of the existence and history of India and world, spirituality got incorporated with the latest deluxe science. Sri Aurobindo himself gave reference to Einstein. For what? Not to explain his spirituality, not to explain his thesis, not to explain the portion that was projected in Savitri all throughout the wider span of 24,000 lines. Why for? To make the death universal and to bring out the solution also equally universal. Death is not an individual problem. Death is cosmic problem. Death is related to creation cosmically, and death is related to body individually. Body is cosmos, cosmos is body. Geometry of cosmos is the same geometry of the body. Geometry of creation is the same geometry of birth. So, it is not the death that is a problem. It is a birth that is a problem. That is what Sri Aurobindo categorically depicted and presented in Savitri. So, creation is the problem. Birth is the problem, and solution is also in creation, solution is also in birth. Very beautiful sequence which has not been up till now focused, pondered over. So experiment was incomplete up till now, so outcome is bound to be incomplete. Experiment is imperfect, so outcome is also imperfect. And death itself is imperfect. Death is not perfect. Death is not perfect because death is not the death of totality. Death is not the death of total existence. Death is not the death of total annihilation. Death is not the death of total existence that is visible. Something is left out from the grip of the death. Something escapes from the grip of the death. Something escapes from the captivization of the death. What is left out? The spirit within, consciousness within, immortality within, reality within, the spark of the divine within. It is captured, it is imprisoned, it is kept for the time being in the body, in the same body which he is made to live. It is made to live rather, not he. It is made to live. It is compelled to live. This was the day when Satyavan must die. Death is a must. Why not birth? Why not birth? Is birth not a must? But we don't know. We never try to know before birth that why we are made to take birth. We are made to leave this body compulsorily, that we know. But why we are made to take birth is unknown to us. That is the imperfection that Sri Aurobindo for the first time tried to focus on it. If creation is there, birth is a creation. We can very easily understand. We can clearly just spell out and scale out the phenomenon of birth. In Gita ji also, Lord Krishna proclaimed, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityu dhruvam janma mrutasya cha. Jatasya, that is the very first phenomenon. Death is not the phenomenon. It is the birth that is the phenomenon. Where there is beginning, end is bound to be there. Where there is cause, consequence is bound to be there. Where there is descent, appearance is bound to be there. Where there is throbbing, assimilation is bound to be there. Where there is drawing, visibility is bound to be there. If we draw something, then the question arises, what does it like? What type of beauty is poured there? What type of creativity is there? What type of design is there? What type of reality is there? Something, there was nothing at that time prior to our visibility, prior to our perception, prior to our focusing on it. So God created this universe just for destruction, just for annihilation, just for nothing. If it is for Anand, if it is for Anand, pleasure, if it is for play, then objective behind it is to be served. Objective behind it is to be projected. And objective behind is to be so well spelled out. We as human beings do it in our life, day-to-day life. How can we expect that the creator of the creation has left it out unnoticed? So if we are bound to enter into the new life, new zone, new consciousness, new reality and new time. So it is the time so realistic that all imperfection, including death, are to be wiped out. We are born, we are created. If earth created this way, entire universe created this way, suns, they are shining, created this way and are still living, are still shining. So why human being is made to lose its own existentiability, our eligibility to exist, our eligibility to survive? Why survival of the fittest? Why not survival of the already survived? God is partial. Divine is partial. Divine is unjustifiable. Divine is incompetent. Spirit is incompetent. It is His Spirit that ultimately creates the object of the body, creates the orbit of the body. Body is the orbit in which spirit is centrally located there. And it is the centrally located spirit that vibrates and makes the body all the while throbbing. And throbbing for the time being is life. Throbbing for the time being is life. So why it is so short? Why it is so short? Can it not be prolonged? Can it not be retained? What is there that fails to retain the spirit? What is there in body? What develops there in body which is incapable to retain the spirit any longer? If we are to enter into this new zone, this imperfection is to be first of all pointed out. This imperfection is first of all diagnosed. This imperfection, for the first of all, is to be scaled out. The imperfection is to be put into right location where it can be controlled, it can be rooted out, it can be transformed, it can be transfigured, or it can be assimilated into life. Up till now, nobody thought of it. Nobody thought of it. The problem of death is a problem. Medical science, entire medical science tried to solve it, taking consequence into account, never taking cause into account. It is the cause that is to be taken into account. And cause lies in the mind of the cells. If our corporeal mind could fail to survey the totality, it is the secret mind, it is the mind hidden, it is the mind realistic, it is the mind spiritual, it is the mind that is light, can survey it totally. Unless and until we can survey totally, we cannot coordinate cause with consequence. Cause is creation, by consequence is destruction. Cause is creation, by consequence is dissolution. Contradiction is there. Contradiction is there. But life and death are never contradictory. Life is death and death is life. If life can be retained compulsorily, why death cannot be retained compulsorily? If life can be lived as per our modus operandi, why death cannot be experienced with our own modus operandi? Something is lacking, something is lacking, something is lacking, something that wished but knew not to be, knew not how to be. Something something wished. The real wish was there in something, but we don't know what is something throughout the life. Throughout the life. So the true cause is to be defined, because we have got indefinite, incomplete definition of life. Definition means understanding. Understanding means understanding with our corporeal mind. When mind is incompetent, when mind is limited, when mind is just a piece, not the whole. Mind is a piece, not the whole. So its understanding is bound to be partial, is not whole, is not complete. But still there is something hidden. It is the real mind, it is the real center of mind, it is the real light of mind, it is the real power of mind, it is the real consciousness of mind which is hidden just in the center at its purest level. There lies the solution. There lies the solution. It has to be so expanded and elevated that we can get the master solution of the faulty, apparently master problem. Solution is master solution. Problem is made master problem by our incompetent mind. Problem is not master problem. It is our incompetent mind that has made it a master problem. So mother experienced at the time of her final conclusion, why for I am given this birth? My birth is a problem. Why for I am brought here on the earth? And that too with powerful remembrance, powerful continuity, powerful survival throughout. Why for? And no explanation was given to mother in a human way by the human body of Sri Aurobindo throughout his life and throughout the life of the mother. Sri Aurobindo did not teach. Sri Aurobindo did not explain. Sri Aurobindo did not give sermon. Sri Aurobindo did not give commandments. Sri Aurobindo did not give explanation to mother. Solution is to be found out by the mother, but formula of solution has been given to mother by Sri Aurobindo on the strength of his hypothesis, on the strength of his visuality, on the strength of his own visions, and on the strength of his own experiences of his own cabined consciousness as soul, but soul in the human body, and that human body was mortal human body. In spite of the mortal human body gave rise, gave height, gave ascent to the soul of Sri Aurobindo, and it is that soul keeping human body intact found out the solution. And that solution was the mind of light. Mind was the solution. Mind was the solution. Body was not the solution, but mind was the solution living in the body. Our mind is living in the body, but we don't find it out. Our mind is living in our body, but we don't locate it. Our mind is living in the body, but we don't have the diagram of it. We have got diagram of our body, we never have diagram of our mind. Still it is living in our body. Our spirit, our real being, our true consciousness, our divinity, our immortality, our beauty, our strength, everything, our light is living in our body. We have no location of it. In the light of all these things, we must, within this purview, we must find out the solution of the apparently must death. Question. Satprem asks, in terms of your experience, what conclusions can be drawn from this story? That man came in his body, though was cremated there. Body was being cremated. So which body appeared before mother? It is the soul that brought that body there. So body being cremated is not cremated. Einstein says, energy is never destroyed. Matter is energy, energy is matter, both are interconvertible. Body is spirit, spirit is body, both are interconvertible. That is new relativity. Body is spirit, spirit is body. Without spirit, how body can come into existence? Without spirit, how body can see, how body can hear, how body can work, how body can move, how body can get anything and everything within its own perspective without spirit. So what is death? Separation of spirit from the body, separation of body from the spirit. Body and spirit are separated is death. If body can retain the spirit, or if spirit continues to captivate the body, then there is no death. If you open the window, air from the outside can enter into it. If you close the window, there is no question of external air to enter or internal air to go out. Both the phenomena are quite same, only direction is different. Direction of the mobility is different. Direction of the wavelength is different. If wavelength is disturbed, then that separation becomes the reality. Then it becomes the separation. We are separated. So what conclusion should we draw from where that body came? Cremation was there, body cremated. That was physical reality, looked and registered by the people around that body. Then which body appeared before mother? Which spirit appeared before mother? Not a miracle. It is reality experienced by the mother. So mother, you experienced it. So let me have the conclusion also of it. Let me have the cause of also it. Let me have the entire procedure, how that body survived and how that body took that journey from there to here, to Pondicherry, and how it appeared. Well, mother says, well, it means that you can die without knowledge you are dead. You can die without knowledge that you are dead. If you accept that I am dead, I am dead, I am dead, you are bound to be dead. You have given sanction to the death, and that is why you are dead. Who sanctioned? Mind? Who sanctioned? Senses? Who sanctioned? Your ignorance? Who sanctioned? Your spirit. Spirit. And Sri Aurobindo found out the solution there. It is the soul that takes birth, selects parents, selects birthplace, enters into the real relativity, and accepting the body of the mother to be its base, and comes to this world. There lies the solution. Problem is also the problem of birth. So solution to death is also lies there with the birth. It means that you can die without knowing you are dead. He went on being living, experiencing, absolutely independent of his body. Soul is living independently and absolutely depending on the body. Without body, soul lives. Without body, soul moves. Without body, soul works. Without body, soul inspires. Without body, soul encourages. Without body, soul harasses. Everything soul can do without body. So soul has hidden potentiality to create its own body once again. Once again. Will you collaborate? Will you collaborate? I have labored to create the new world. I have labored to create the human body. I have labored to create the ultra and extraordinary specimen of reality as human body, as human being. Will you collaborate? So I am going to create a new body with new functioning, with new organization, with new capacity, with new power of divinity, immortality. Will you collaborate? We must be ready to collaborate. Living, experiencing, absolutely independent of his body, without needing his body in the least to pursue his experience. Without body to pursue the experience that was his determination at the time of death. So body also was collaborating. The existence of matter that was related at the time of his birth was again cooperating that soul, and with that body he appears before me. That is what the experience of the mother. Body in the list to pursue his experience. I find that an important experience. Mother says, I find that an important experience. To mother also it is important because up till now nobody knew it. Nobody knew it. And so we could say that it is necessary to die unto death. So it is necessary to die unto death, to understand death, to enter into death, to dissolve death, to verify death, to verify the cause, to verify the law of causability that is governing death, and to verify the reality which brings death into existence as such. And death into existence means separation into existence. Separation into existence. Spirit and matter are to be fundamentally, absolutely, compulsorily separated. What is the factor that makes our spirit, makes our soul separate from our body? This is the death for that body. This is not the death for the onlookers. That is not the death for the people who are witnessing it. Something has taken place unusually in the environment, something might have taken place and externally, then everybody should die. Everybody should die. Why only one individual dies? Because something that is dislocated, something that is unusual there, something that is ignorant is there, something that is darkness is there, something there is lack of light is there, something there is lack of divine is there, something that is there is lack of consciousness is there. Something happened inside uncontrollably, which ultimately results into separation. And it is the separation that gives experience to the person concerned of death. And so we could say that it is necessary to die unto death. It is necessary to die unto death. We are dying continuously till we are separated. Unto death, in order to be born to immortality. How long we should go on dying? How long we should go on taking birth this way? Till we can make this tie permanent. Till we can make this tie under our control. Till we can make this tie continuously coexisting. These are the only options. Now, soul is to be made competent. Soul consciousness is to be made so well aware that I am taking birth with this license, taking birth with this permission, taking birth with this competence, taking birth with this presence, so I can continue spirit and matter coexisting together till I wish. Doesn't mean till body wishes. I wish. And who is I? I is centrally located consciousness. I is not the beautiful body that we can look into the mirror every day and every morning. Our focus is wrong, and with the result we die. Our focus is on body, and with the result we die. Our focus is on the apparent reality, and that is why we die. That is why we die. Born to immortality, dying unto death, that is becoming incapable of dying because death no longer has any reality. It is because of the overthinking of death. It is because of over-importance given to this phenomenon. That phenomenon is ever present before our consciousness, ever present. Bhai is there. Ahar, Nindra, Bhai and Maithun. So Bhai is there. Bhai of what? Fear of what? Fear of death. And fear of death is more disastrous than death itself. It is the fear of death that results into phenomenon of death. The position of the consciousness changes, and not only do cancer, that is what Satprem concludes, it's not the disease that causes death to our body. It is the body that causes death to the body. It is the body that causes death to the body, not disease. Disease is the apparent reality. Disease is the apparent things. Apparent thing. But apparent non-entity, apparent reality, it is not apparent reality. Apparent reality that we wish. If we don't wish, we can prevent. We can prevent. But can we prevent? And we have got the capacity to prevent it. We have got the capacity to seize it. We have got the capacity to give red signal to it. And those who are competent confidently to give red signal to it, death was stopped individually. It can be made willful. We are the masters and death is our assistant. And death means what? It is self-separation. We want to give up and we want to leave our threshold, we can. But if we want to enter into our home, after getting out, we can enter. Mother entered many a times. And that is why assignment was given to mother. Your body is more competent than my body. That is what Sri Aurobindo acknowledged. And that is why this is final episode is given to you to perform. It is the last and final act of this comedy. It's not tragedy. It's not tragedy. It is comedy. You will have to realize for the entire world, and that is what mother did. Like no longer have any reality, meaning they cannot be or manifest themselves, even though they are always there, latent in the bowl, but death cannot be either. Death is still there, but dying or not depends upon a position of consciousness. It is the prerogative of consciousness. It is the right of the consciousness. It is the right of the soul. So lifelong it is dormant. Lifelong it is dormant. But it is its right. It is the right of the soul to decide whether to be separated or not to die. It's not the death to be separated or not. We are holding thing. We have got every right to give it up. But while giving it up, we have got every right to get it back as it is. As it is. Mother repeatedly, even lying on this bed, repeatedly had left her body and regained her body too. And thereafter, after repeated experiences of death, after repeated experiences of separation, this way mother comes to the conclusion and it is presented before Satprem.